I've watched ants do things that honestly don't make sense. I've seen them link their bodies together to float across floods. I've seen them turn themselves into living bridges just to reach an enemy. So it got me thinking, if ants can solve problems like that in the wild, what would happen if I pushed them even further? What if I took 1,000 ants and forced them to face a challenge that looks completely impossible? Would they adopt? Would they cooperate? Or would this finally be something they just couldn't figure out? So after spending hours carefully collecting this entire colony from my old ant nest, I decided to put them to the test. This is their first obstacle, and it only gets harder from here. I built a simple-looking table setup, but what the ants don't know is that this is one of the hardest environments they've ever faced. Two white tables, a massive gap in between, and no obvious path across. On the left table, I place 1,000 ants together as a colony. On the right table, I place the reward: fresh, bright red strawberries. Close enough to see, far enough to feel impossible. Between the two tables is a deep vertical drop. No bridge, no surface to walk on. If an ant falls, there's no easy way back up. This is the obstacle. At first, the ants rush forward. They crowd the edge, antennae moving rapidly. Some ants slip and fall. Others stop completely. The colony hesitates. Ants pile up at the edge. No clear leader, no clear solution. From above, it looks like failure. But ants don't panic. They observe. Slowly, ants begin clustering at the edge. At this point, I honestly started to doubt them. It's been almost 5 hours. 5 hours of ants walking back and forth, reaching the edge, pulling back, falling, and trying again. And still, no solution. From where I'm standing, this is starting to look like an impossible task. The strawberries are right there, close enough to smell, but completely unreachable. And I'm thinking, maybe they just can't do this on their own. So I decided to help them. Not by carrying them across, not by building the bridge for them, but by giving them something they can use. I place a thin hanging support across the gap. Something light, narrow, and unstable. Not a bridge, just a chance. If the ants are smart enough, they'll figure out how to use it. And after setting that up, I leave. No cameras moving, no interference. I let the ants work. I'm gonna leave them alone for 12 full hours. No pressure, no guidance. And tomorrow, we'll find out if they ever reached their reward, or if this challenge really was impossible. All right, it's the next day. It's been 12 hours. And I'm not gonna lie, I did not expect this. Because when I look at the tables now, the ants did it. They didn't just cross the gap, they built a bridge. Using that hanging support, they anchored themselves one by one, locking bodies together, turning instability into structure. What started as help turned into a solution. You can see it clearly. Ants anchored the hanging piece on both sides. Others reinforced the middle. Traffic strengthened the bridge instead of breaking it. This wasn't luck, this was planning. And at the end of it all, the strawberries are completely covered. Ants everywhere, feeding together. After hours of failure, after one small advantage, the colony solved the problem. What looked like a simple table setup turned into a test of patience, intelligence, and adaptation. And once again, the ants figured it out.